The Cybertruck is finally here, and it's not as good as many initially hoped. And although it was very much expected to be one of the most hyped up launches of the year in the EV space, as it turns out, the Cybertruck is not as big of a threat to the overall pickup truck market as many people really made it out. Now, I'm sure this was obvious from the very beginning, but the Cybertruck is intending to compete with the host of new electric pickups in the market by the likes of the Ford F-150 Lightning as well as the Rivian R1T. And although on paper it certainly is up there, there are some disadvantages as well as key advantages that this vehicle provides over those vehicles that may or may not be getting exaggerated on social media. And in this video, folks, those details are exactly what I want to cover. I want to look at exactly what kind of people would buy the Cybertruck, how it could benefit Tesla's business, and how it stacks up against the status quo in the pickup truck market. And well, what better way to start, folks, than by first addressing the key specs that were missing for the past 4 years about this revolutionary new looking vehicle. As we have just learned, folks, the starting price of this vehicle is around $61,000, not factoring in any tax incentives from the government. And this range goes up to almost $100,000 for the maxed out top spec Cyber Beast version, which has apparently all-wheel drive, a 320-mile range, 0 to 60 in 2.6 seconds, and almost 11,000 pound-feet of torque. And although yes, those numbers are extremely impressive and make for really good ads and demos like we saw with the drag race with the Porsche 911, there are some logistical caveats that haven't really been addressed by all of the delivery highlights. The very first one being the fact that the cheapest model is already 40% more expensive than Tesla initially planned for it to be back in 2019, which is what a lot of those 2 million reservations were based on. Not to mention the fact that this cheapest version is not even going to be available to order until 2025, which is more than 14 months away. Instead, right now, what is immediately available to order is unsurprisingly the most expensive versions, which is where Tesla intends to squeeze out the most profit margin per vehicle sold, with deliveries of the 99,000 and the 79,000 all-wheel drive version expected in 2024. What's more is that 500-mile range that was promised is nowhere to be seen, with the base model having 250, the all-wheel drive with 340, and the Cyber Beast with 320, which obviously is pretty low for a truck costing nearly 6 figures. And for those wondering where the likes of Rivian and Ford fall into the pricing structure of the Cybertruck, as it turns out, they are doing pretty well. Where the Rivian R1T is already in thousands of customers' hands and has clearly demonstrated itself to be a worthwhile workhorse in the EV space, the Cybertruck is still yet to be proved in the real world. Not only is it extremely difficult to manufacture according to Elon Musk himself because of its stainless steel body frame design, as well as weird angles and extremely large windshield and wiper, but it also has a really polarizing look, which ends up sacrificing on some key features that make pickup trucks what they exactly are. Instead, Tesla has been focusing their time on developing gimmicks that really the mass market doesn't care about, like having a bulletproof side door, having a steer-by-wire steering system, which has already been in mass market vehicles for quite a while now, and adding chunky off-road tires, wheel covers, and extremely large wheel fenders, which don't really add to the utility of the vehicle. And what this is translating into is a lack of serious competition with the Rivian R1T or the Ford F-150 Lightning, even though yes, the vehicle certainly falls right in line with the performances of these respective trucks. As you can see, for essentially the same range, the Rivian R1T is a whopping $12,000 cheaper, offers a more normal design, and has roughly the same 0 to 60 horsepower and torque specifications of the top-end Cybertruck. Not to mention the fact that, unlike the Cybertruck, the Rivian does not need an extra battery pack mounted in the bay to add range for the top-end model to around 470 miles. This idea was actually already thought of by Rivian back in 2020 when they initially got this patent granted, and it certainly doesn't add any credit to Tesla's part because of their under-delivering on the range part. I mean, what realistic sense does it make to sell a $16,000 battery pack that you mount into your bay that not only takes up cargo capacity, but also adds more weight to your vehicle, reducing your towing capacity, when you can simply try to make a cheaper product with performance that comes to par with the competition, instead of trying to make the best vehicle for these demos that the Tesla community has been sharing so much on social media. And especially when compared to the Rivian's top-end dual motor all-wheel drive with the Max Pack battery technology, the Cyber Beast really does not come onto par, because that vehicle can get around 410 miles of range, costs just around $94,000, has a similar and competitive 0 to 60 time, which doesn't really matter to most consumers, whereas the Cybertruck offers a 440 mile range, but you have to buy a $16,000 extra range extender, have it installed by a service center, which increases the total cost of the vehicle to nearly $120,000. Heck, even Ford's F-150 Lightning, Lariat, and Platinum versions start at roughly the same price as the all-wheel drive and the top-end Cyber Beast version, while offering roughly the same range. All this information leads me to believe that the buyers of the Cybertruck are a very specific niche of people. It's going to be no surprise that the vehicle is going to sell pretty well for the first year because of the insane amount of hype we've seen around the vehicle, but it isn't going to be an F-150 or a Rivian killer by any stretch of the imagination. Not because only we don't have any information on maintenance costs as well as living with it in the winter, but also because right now production for the cheapest version is not even beginning until 2025. But as usual, folks, that is just my take on the situation, so let me know your thoughts on the Cybertruck down in the comment section below. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.